A pack of wolves is strong enough to bring down a massive northern deer. The predators thought that prey like a wild donkey would quickly surrender, but the wolves clearly underestimated their opponent. The donkey proved to be an incredibly stubborn fighter, leading the wolves on a prolonged chase, demonstrating remarkable endurance. When the wolf finally caught the donkey, clamping its jaws on sensitive nose and lips, the hoofed creature did not give up. Instead, the donkey used pain as a stimulus, delivering powerful kicks with its hooves to the wolf. The herbivore cruelly knocked down the predator, ran straight over it, and continued fleeing, warding off all other attacks. Today we'll show you other cases in which donkeys proved that they should not be underestimated. The wolf lunged at the donkey, grabbing it precisely by the trachea with its powerful jaws. However, the hoofed animal surprised the predator, breaking free and delivering a strong side kick with its hoof to the wolf. It was an inconvenient position for the herbivore to be in to counterattack, but the kick was strong enough to send the wolf flying. The wolf attempted to continue the attack, but the donkey's owner's shout scared it away. A human can be proud of their pet. How would you react if you witnessed a wild predator attacking your pet? If you've ever had such an experience, let us know about your story in the comments under the video. A donkey and a lion found themselves in the same enclosure. The donkey grazes and approaches the lying lion. The predator, satiated, doesn't attack the hoofed animal, but won't tolerate such audacity. Ready to pounce on the persistent neighbor, the lion doesn't realize who it's dealing with at all. The donkey reacts instantly, delivering 2 devastating kicks with its hooves directly to the lion's face. First, a light kick with the front leg, then a turn, and a powerful stunning kick with the hind leg. This combination knocks out the lion, its force pushing it into a corner of the enclosure. The predator is in shock. The donkey watches to see if the lion learned its lesson or if it needs to be repeated. The lion sits obediently in the corner. The donkey moves aside. Such bravery from the hoofed creature deserves your like, doesn't it? Here, 2 donkeys peacefully grazed in the enclosure. It's hard to say whether a tragic mistake or intentional sabotage occurred, but an entire pride of lions was released among the hoofed animals. The donkeys tried to run, but they were literally overwhelmed by a living wave of huge predators. Surprisingly, even with a ratio of 1 to 5, the donkeys didn't immediately succumb to the pressure of the massive panthers. One of the herbivores managed to kick the lioness directly in the chest, while the other continued to resist for some time, fending off multiple lionesses, pressing him to the ground simultaneously. However, the numerical advantage of the predators was too great. They managed to overcome the resistance of the donkeys and to deal with them. This story has a sad ending, though, for the donkeys. They were defeated. But just notice how much effort the lionesses had to exert. It's as if they were dealing not with small hoofed animals, but with rhinos. Each of the donkeys held off several lionesses. The predators did not expect such fierce resistance. If there were 3 or 4 lionesses, they would probably have struggled to succeed, don't you agree? The donkey got scared when it sensed the approach of the lamb, mistaking the little one for a source of threat, and instantly reacted with a kick. The hoof hit the small animal right in the center of its body, and the lamb literally flew away. Was it really an unprovoked burst of aggression? Not really. Some conflicts with donkeys happen accidentally. Donkeys have eyes on the sides of their heads relative to the center of the muzzle, making their field of vision very wide compared to predators with forward-facing eyes. So the donkey can see what's behind it. However, there are blind spots. The little lamb didn't know about this and approached the donkey precisely where the hoofed animal couldn't notice the little one. The donkey assumed it was a sneaking predator and just kicked blindly just in case. By the way, that's why humans should never approach donkeys and horses from behind. but this donkey knew what it was doing. It's hard to say what exactly angered it in the behavior of the desert fox. Did the small, fluffy predator dare to attack the hoofed animal? In any case, the fox didn't know who it was dealing with. Otherwise, it would have fled when the donkey first appeared on the horizon. As you can see, the donkey didn't waste any time trying to deter the fox by kicking. Instead, the hoofed creature deployed its most dangerous weapon, its teeth. The fox has excellent reflexes and usually evades such lunges. However, the donkey acted too swiftly and the fox underestimated its opponent. As a result, the small predator found itself in the jaws of the formidable herbivore. This domestic donkey, accustomed to human protection, hadn't been softened by its life and displayed unexpected ferocity. The enraged hoofed animal tossed the poor fox in its mouth like a rag. The sharp jerks and powerful rhythmic movements of the neck were so strong that the donkey broke the fox's neck and inflicted numerous other fatal injuries in less than a minute. It's challenging to say just where this cruelty originated. Whenever the donkey realized the fox could move, it would lower the enemy onto the sand, but only to grip its throat more securely and forcefully. The herbivorous beast would then lift the small predator up again. The donkey's bite strength, combined with its intimidating jerks and persistent desire to deal with the enemy, turned the fox into nothing more than a broken toy in the jaws of its opponent. However, perhaps this incident explains the fury during conflicts with predators. This elegant and incredibly strong snow leopard sank its teeth precisely into the donkey's throat. Any other hoofed animal in this weight category would have been doomed on the spot. But the leopard didn't know who it was dealing with. The donkey just walked. The leopard didn't try to grasp the prey with all its paws. Instead, the predator seemed to embrace the donkey only around the head, while the rest of its body dragged on the ground. It was part of the plan, I think, and hunting tactics. The panther wanted the donkey to lower its head under its weight, making it a little bit easier to throw it off balance, bring to the ground, and finish off. But it didn't work. The donkey calmly walked, not even lowering its head, but rather dragging the leopard like an exotic living ornament. The herbivore tried to take advantage of this and trampled the leopard, but it also fell short. A draw? Not quite. The hoofed creature didn't actively resist. Perhaps the leopard interpreted it as despair, but in reality, the donkey almost didn't even notice the opponent. It seems the predator's grip didn't cause the donkey much discomfort. The leopard compressed the trachea, hoping to gradually strangle or at least partially cut off the victim's breathing. But it couldn't achieve that. The donkey couldn't care less. It calmly walks with the leopard around its neck. Then the hoofed creature lies down, but that's not a problem. It's just resting. The leopard is in shock. It's being ignored during what initially seemed like a successful attack. The donkey effortlessly stands up again and continues walking. In the end, the snow leopard finally realizes that the donkey is too formidable of an opponent and releases its grip. The donkey lazily brushes off the enemy, and the leopard hadn't felt such humiliation in a long time. Sometimes the donkey engages in serious battles with other hoofed animals. For instance, here it bravely fights a camel. The opponent is almost 3 times larger than the donkey, surpasses it in raw strength, and possesses a crucial tactical advantage: its height. The long neck and towering withers significantly complicate the donkey's attempts to reach the opponent's throat. Yet, the camel consistently reaches out and grabs the donkey's back, neck, and head with its enormous jaws. In a way, camels and donkeys are similar. Both are robust animals adapted to the desert climate, toughened by their environment, making them formidable adversaries. They avoid inflicting fatal injuries on each other unless genuinely provoked. However, in this case, the patience of both opponents seems to have wavered. They are seriously fighting. The camel tries to break the donkey's spine. The entire back of the hoofed animal fits into the larger beast's mouth. Still, the powerful musculature and tough skin protect the donkey from genuinely dangerous wounds. On the other hand, the camel suppresses resistance and throws the opponent off, thanks to a clear mass advantage. However, the donkey stubbornly returns to the fight, jumps, rears up, all this to reach the opponent's throat. And here, the donkey battles a pony. These horses are much more formidable than people think. However, donkeys are also underestimated, so you witness a duel between two genuinely dangerous animals with a deceptively peaceful reputation. Ponies were bred for work in mines, so despite their modest size, they possess incredible strength, endurance, and a rather grim temperament. Note that both opponents, while occasionally trying to knock each other down with ramming attacks and kicks, primarily use their jaws. The same applies to cases of battles between donkeys and horses. Although both species more often use hooves to fend off predator attacks, they settle their disputes with each other using their teeth. It's due to the donkey's bloodthirstiness, something the horse didn't really expect from the smaller animal. Right under the jaw of both hoofed animals is a vulnerable spot. A bite there can cut off breathing and strangle the creature. Therefore, aiming for the muscular base of the neck makes no sense. You need to target precisely under the lower jaw. Both herbivores are well aware of this peculiarity and attempt to reach the vulnerable area on each other's bodies. They fly in the darkness of the night, swoop down on unsuspecting victims, attack them, and drink their blood. You might think that this is about some sort of exotic bat? Even though such winged creatures exist, it's not them who attack these poor hoofed animals. They are being attacked by vampire parrots. Pretty surprising, isn't it? These animals don't expect such trickery from the seemingly adorable birds too. So they really don't sense the threat and don't flee when they see these birds approaching in the twilight. And all of this takes place in New Zealand, where there are no large predators that could pose a danger to sheep herds. The livestock feel safe and freely roam the expanses even at night. Unfortunately, these unsuspecting sheep have tangled with no ordinary parrots that you can teach to talk. Instead, they're dealing with true monsters. The vampire parrots lack fangs. They simply land on their victims' backs and puncture them with their beaks. The key parrots are omnivores, feeding on larvae, insects, nectar, and fruits. However, these birds live in the high-altitude regions of New Zealand, where it is definitely quite cold, and there's really not that much nutrient-rich food. Due to this, the parrots suffer from a lack of vitamins. It seems that to supplement the deficiency of certain vital nutrients, they have now diversified their menu with animal blood. Usually, sheep are the victims of these vampire parrot raids. For a long time, this bloodthirsty behavior of Kia parrots remained a mystery. Just a few years ago, researchers discovered that some individuals behave like vampires, which was honestly quite shocking for people. After all, Kia parrots have an excellent reputation. They are among the most intelligent birds globally. Kia birds are curious, active, and quite friendly towards humans, and often kept as pets. Moreover, these birds are masters of flight and apparently engage in acrobatic maneuvers just for the fun of it. Yet they are also capable of attacking sheep and other helpless animals to drink their blood. The wound from a beak strike is not particularly precise and can be painful. Still, the parrot doesn't care about the victim's discomfort. It simply drinks the blood flowing from the damaged tissues and then takes off. After which the parrot remains on the sheep's back, even if it attempts to escape. Sort of reminds me of a somewhat eerie rodeo scene, doesn't it? Moreover, the bird can sit on its prey in this manner for quite a while. Such an attack doesn't lead to any fatal consequences. While the wound might look brutal, it doesn't damage any vital organs and isn't particularly deep. Nevertheless, the sight of a bird settling on an animal in twilight and acting like a vampire is impressive and frightening, wouldn't you say? Of course, such a pair doesn't attack humans. They're not the right weight class for them. Moreover, if a key pair becomes a pet, it likely won't suffer from vitamin deficiency, so the need for blood kind of disappears. But who knows? Perhaps it's worth looking at a pet bird a bit differently now. It's hard to say why the antelope nudges the newborn into the water. Is it trying to teach it to swim? Attempting to wash it? Wishing to get rid of an extra mouth to feed? In any case, this behavior clearly doesn't sit well with this bird right here. The waterfront is its territory. This marabou is a member of the stork family, feeding on frogs, insects, reptiles, and carrion. Hoofed animals don't seem to realize that. To them, the massive stork is just a quiet neighbor leisurely searching for frogs near the water's edge. Well, the gazelles clearly underestimated the bird's bloodthirstiness, and allowing the little one to stay close to it was a mistake. The scavenging stork eyes the little one as if it's an obstacle hindering its walk along the shore, or as potential food. The gazelle fawn is alive, but for the stork, it's a temporary inconvenience. Just watch how calmly the bird grabs the youngster by the legs and nearly drowns it. Fortunately, this story ended well. The stork couldn't be bothered to finish off the fawn, allowing it to escape without serious injuries. Still, that fawn won't ever approach this bird without fear. Here's the funniest gang you've ever seen. Turkeys formed a true gangster group and decided to take over this territory. Just to look at how confidently they're strutting around. It seems like they're about to walk into a local cafe with an offer you can't refuse. Do you need protection? They sure think you do. This cat clearly misunderstood whom it was dealing with. It thought that it could easily disperse the group of birds, but received such resistance that it had to run away. Before, the cat could have chased the turkeys, and now the tables have turned. Ducks look quite cute. I mean, they could be cute, right? Just look at this example of interspecies friendship. Isn't it charming? It might seem like the birds are practically in captivity by the cat, which treats them like toys, sparing them its claws and sharp beak only on a whim. These ducks lack both claws and a sharp beak, so they're defenseless. Well, these cats also thought that way and regretted it when the duck showed them who's the boss. They messed with the wrong bird. The duck turned out to be aggressive and very assertive. It attacked with its beak, which can't cause any injuries or serious harm to the cats, but really, when the duck nips, it really hurts. The cats try to fend it off, but the bird attacks with such force that it corners them and pins them up against the wall. It seems like it ignores all the claw strikes to its head. The cats are shocked. They didn't expect this kind of aggression. The bird continues its assault. It really wants to teach the cat a lesson they will remember for a long time. Don't mess with ducks. Owls are formidable predators that compete with eagles for the title of the best hunter among all birds. They indeed have several advantages. Besides sharp, curved talons and a powerful beak, owls have excellent night vision and hearing, can fly almost silently, and can handle prey larger than themselves. But here, the owl clearly underestimated its opponent. Crows, although not considered the most dangerous birds, are known for their resourcefulness and bravery. They gradually outcompete owls and even dominate them. The owl just wanted to rest, but crows show her that this isn't her place. Now, this is their territory. Although the black aggressors aren't trying to escalate the conflict fatally, they are determined to drive the owl away. They don't like such neighbor and achieve success. The owl simply didn't know who she was dealing with. The strong beak, capable of crushing small bones, can seriously harm the owl. Besides, crows have a very firm grip and can improvise on the fly to defeat a formidable enemy with minimal risk. Moreover, while owls are solitary, crows often form large groups. This way, they can overcome a predatory bird without much risk. And if the attack happens during the day, the crow's chances rise even higher. Underestimating them is not advisable. They might eventually oust the owl from their habitual habitat. Whose side are you on in this confrontation? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. We are interested to know your opinion. It is hard to find a more audacious bird than a seagull. They've turned their impudence into a true weapon. Thanks to this, they can find food almost anywhere. Seagulls have a reputation as seabirds, but they venture quite far from the shore. There, they easily find themselves a meal. These pigeons think that the seagull before them is just another beggar, like themselves, just a bit larger. They're not afraid of this bird, as it doesn't look like a predator. No long, sharp talons and beak like a hawk. But they should have seen the threat in the eyes of that scoundrel. This seagull leisurely walks past the pigeons, not in search of food people toss. The seagull scopes out a pigeon it finds more appetizing, and attacks when it spots one. The other pigeons are in shock. They didn't expect this turn of events. But if a seagull clamps onto its target with its beak, it's unlikely to let go. Despite its size and strength advantage, it easily dispatches the pigeon in a matter of minutes. And this isn't just one bird's antics. It's typical behavior for the entire species. If a seagull sees a chance to deal with any animal, it will surely attack. It's fortunate that we are so much larger than these feathered bandits, isn't it? Moreover, the seagull deals with its prey as efficiently as possible. If there's water nearby, the bird will drown the opponent, especially if it can't swim. If there's no water, it'll pick, lift, and strike the prey against the ground with its beak. The seagull might attack a sparrow, considering it a mere sandwich. Or it might dare to assault a larger adversary. Even land animals can't feel safe here. Here, the seagull swallowed a squirrel. The fluffy rodent clearly didn't expect an attack from this bird, and that was a big mistake. Attempts to hide don't always yield results. Here, the seagull fetched a rabbit directly from its burrow. The bird handled a quite large animal and swallowed it whole. But for every troublemaker, there is a stronger fighter. The audacity of the seagull infuriated this pelican. While the pelican's bill is ideally suited for catching fish, the seagull managed to find its way in there too. It clearly didn't comprehend who it was dealing with. The pelican dealt with it in a matter of seconds. Even crows can teach a lesson to seagulls. See how 6 crows chase a single seagull. The black-winged birds understood that teamwork and the ability to coordinate help when faced with a competitor, surpassing them in audacity and sighed. The seagull was simply bewildered. It was attacked from all sides and forced to leave its familiar coastline, which it used to consider its territory. It clearly didn't grasp that the rules had changed. And now, other feathered bandits inhabit the area. It definitely will not mess with crows anymore. So what instance of unexpected birds' bravery impressed you today the most? Share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. That way, you'll be among the first to learn about the most amazing, amusing, and epic moments from the world of wildlife.